I'm joined this week by Graham Thompson. How are you, Graham?
I'm very well, thank you, Ross.
We also have Stephen McLernan. How are you, Stephen?
Good, thanks, Ross.
And back from our 3-podcast ban, it's Jennifer Shaw. How are you, Jennifer?
I'm good, Ross. Thanks very much.
What did you
Keeping
do?
you guys back in line. What did I do?
What did you do?
I've got a job.
You got a job. That's
I've
good
got a
enough for
job.
ban.
Yeah, that stops me.
We're obviously just going to cover the weekend's game. Saturday night saw us heading down to Nottingham with the very, very, very outside chance of if we won, that we still relying on other people. We may just have been able to qualify. However, you know, as to be expected, when we got down there, we lost the game soundly. I haven't seen the highlights yet. I don't know if they're out, guys. Anybody seen highlights?
They're
out
out,
today?
I've not seen them.
Yeah.
They're out, but I've not got a chance yet.
Obviously, the score was 5-1. I think the way the goals fell by period, we were in the game for a considerable period of time. There was no goals in the first period at all, and it was only 3-1 after 2 periods. So, they done not bad. It wasn't quite the horrific shot count that we'd suffered the last time we were down, but managed to win. I think it was 30 shots, Nottingham shots to 23 of ours. And we certainly were a lot better in the penalty kill. Nottingham had 3 opportunities and didn't capitalise on any of them, but then we had 2 and didn't capitalise either. I think our power play away from home is pretty poor. Just off the top of my head, I think we're 2 for 37 in all competitions, which is just not good. However, don't think MD, there was no point in dwelling in the Nottingham game because it was to be as expected. We didn't really think we were going to get in from it, guys, eh?
No, I think I listened to the interview with John Tripp after last night's game, and he did say that he thought that the first period in Nottingham was probably some of the best that we've played this season so far. So, I mean, again, it's like we were talking about last week. You're trying to look for signs of improvement, signs of encouragement, and clearly you picked up some of that on Saturday night. But, yeah, to be honest, I'm not the coach. I kind of thought maybe this might be the opportunity to give Rusty a start, rest Nye, figuring that he was going to face a lot of shots, and just shake things up a little bit, and it looks like that didn't happen too much on Saturday night. Always run the risk of Nye getting injured or whatever else, but he's the coach, and as it was, it didn't exactly backfire on us. So, yeah, it was, as far as I was concerned, it was a dead rubber. I don't think anyone else had too much interest in it from that point of view, but it wasn't an embarrassing result, all things considered, as you say. So, yeah, we got back up the road and on into last night.
Yeah, and I think last night, for most people, or it should have been anyway, was far more important in the great scheme of things. Not just because it was back playing in the league, but also because, Guildford is a team that we should be beating at home, and any day we should have a performance where we're close, if not beating them by taking a point or losing by 1 or 2 goals. So it was going to be a benchmark type game. And for the first couple of periods, Stephen, it just wasn't looking as if it was going to be your night again, did it?
No, the first half of that game we weren't very good at all. I thought the first period was kind of even in terms of clear-cut chances, because as much of the puck as Guildford had, they didn't really create much that was threatening, and when they did, Nye was there to clear any chances. And even when we went the first goal down at the beginning of the second period, I thought we came out a bit better, but as soon as the second goal went in, we kind of fell away again. So it was one of those nights where I thought it was going to be one of those games we weren't going to play well, we weren't going to get anything out of it, but it was a bit of fantastic skill for Schofield, dragged us back into it.
Yeah, it has to be said, at 2-0 down in the second period, and having the atmosphere was just probably, I mean, again, you keep saying, I keep saying things like the flattest I can remember, but is it just because it's so recent in the memory? There must have been other games in the past where things have been flat, but it certainly was flat last night. Even after we equalised a couple of times, it was still a bit flat, and at 2 each, Graham, it still looked as if it was MD's game until Lidhammer, I think it was, took that stupid penalty in Jutland.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, I think there's no doubt that Guildford were starting to dominate after they scored that first goal. They were starting to dominate, and for the vast majority of that second period, they were well on top. As Stephen rightly says, the Schofield goal was lovely, an absolute beauty. Can't wait to see that one again. And then obviously a quick second goal after that, and there was quite a bit of energy in the building at that point. And I think the fact that we'd come back from 2-0 down is let's be honest, so unexpected the way we've been playing up until now. Then that was obviously a good thing. Thereafter, it was kind of 50-50. You were down to penalties. We knew that their power play was good because that's how they scored the first 2 goals. So there was still some penalties getting handed out. I thought Pavel had a good game. But I thought he had an okay game. I'm sure not everybody will agree with that too much. But he didn't make too many wrong calls, and he's always a bit of a liability because you don't know how he's going to play one period to the next, as in officiate. So I felt he was reasonably consistent last night. Guildford are a good team, but the recent record hasn't been brilliant. So to be honest, they reminded me quite a lot of Milton Keynes. A little bit disappointing overall, but we came back. We scored towards the end of the third period. It was a comeback, and any comeback is a good comeback. And overall, it was a good result.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Guildford scoring 2 of their goals on their power play, but they had 6 opportunities and only got the 2. But our penalty kill overall hasn't been too bad at all statistically this year. But on the power play, with a 5-minute major at the end of the game, I think. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but I think there was only less than a minute and a half after our power play expired for Guildford to actually do something. But given that we had already surrendered a few short-handed goals this season, nothing's guaranteed. But the guys, they seem to get their tails up, and they seem to produce that fight. When you say 5-minute power play, we got the game-winning goal. Which was another nice move, and something that is nice to see. And we talked about it last week, Jennifer. I know you've probably listened. Graham, and Stephen talked about how Petroni, Brooks, and Schofield have started producing regularly, and again, all 3 of them were on the score sheet last night.
Yeah, no, it's kind of nice to see them, and obviously I've missed a couple of games as well, so it's quite nice to see them finally finding each other, because I think previously the passing has been really, really bad, and I think the passing was kind of a lot better last night. Don't think there was too many turnovers. There was one really bad turnover that Burt made last night behind the goal. He probably should have passed it rather than playing it himself. But I don't think we played too badly defence-wise last night. I just think we were kind of unlucky with both the power play goals. But you know what it's like when you see Brooksy on a breakaway, your heart goes one way or the other. And I think that was 2 breakaways last night that he was unfortunate with. One get saved and one get intercepted by Liam Stewart. So no, it's just nice to see them finally get to see some positives, because obviously I've heard you guys just moaning. But do you know what I mean? You've got every right to moan because it's not been enjoyable hockey. I still don't think last night was a brilliant game.
No, it wasn't very enjoable.
It wasn't a brilliant game to watch, but we got the win.
The result was important, and that was all that was important. But it wasn't. I didn't enjoy it as such, and in the atmosphere. Certainly, with Rusty, hope we had a good birthday party down in Blackpool. I don't know if he just never made it back, or he was too ill to come for once he'd come back from Blackpool. The section the end particularly were very quiet in it, and it kind of shows you how much the club rely, or we as a fan base rely on them to get the kind of energy going through the building. But I think it was also everybody in the fan base that was watching the game and did attend was very conscious of the fact that it was an important game to get a result, Steve.
Yeah, definitely. We spoke about it last week. It doesn't matter how we do it, we need to get a result. And you're right, it wasn't the most enjoyable games last night. And I kind of enjoyed the third period. It was back in even terms. There was a few hits being laid in. Things were getting a bit snippier, I'd say, and that last period was good, and I was dreading the thought of overtime right enough, but we managed to eke it out in that power play, which we had to. We had the opportunity to go out and win the game in regulation, keep the distance between us and Guildford, who I think are a point ahead of us, at a point instead of, and in fact, close some points back on them, instead of giving them an overtime point. So we had to get it done. We did. Hopefully it'll build a bit of confidence, and hopefully with confidence the play will come again. That'll build up the atmosphere again. It's a big game again Saturday against Dundee, who had a fantastic result last night. So we're going to need to be on our A game and start picking up points.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Dundee are going to be quite, a lot of people thought at the start of the season with their problems and losing their coach kind of halfway through the mid-season, or off-season, sorry, that they were going to be a bit of that pushover. But, we just haven't played Dundee yet, and it's just going to have to wait and see how we match up against them. Before we move on to that, though, I wanted to pick up on something you'd said, Graham, about Pavel. I thought Pavel had a decent game. I know a lot of fans were moaning about him, but he missed as many things against us as he did against them. That there was a few absolutely blatant slashings right in front of me, and actually Pavel was standing. I thought he was watching. I thought, how did he miss that? But generally speaking, he didn't have a game that I thought. He wasn't as fussy. There didn't seem to be quite as many stoppages in a usual Pavel game. And I certainly thought, there was if he missed calls, he was missing them for both teams. So, I've got no complaints about the refereeing at all, unless MD else would disagree with that.
I totally disagree, because there was just far too many blatant things not getting called.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There were things for us
it was nice for the game to flow. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice for the game to flow, but I think the one that really angered me was when Islandski gets called for holding the stick, and Pavel doesn't think, why has the guy not got his own stick, because it's just been slashed out his hand in front of his face and he's done nothing about it. So that's the infuriating thing about it. You can't call one for one team and then not call it for the other, and that's the issue.
But you can't call it if he didn't see it.
It was right in front of him.
But I thought we'll see the slashing the Clan player right near the end. I think it was just before the 5-minute penalty. It was right over at the penalty box, right in front of me. And I can't remember, I think it was Shattuck. Shattuck actually slashed the guy's stick right out of his hand in front of Pavel. I thought Pavel was right there. And he even looked as if he was heading for the box and nothing get called. So that's what I'm saying. If it's evened up for both teams, then it's not really... And we're back to the 4-man ref. All it takes is for him to swivel his head one way, the slash goes, he moves his head back, and Zlanski's holding the stick, and you're thinking, if he didn't see it, he can't call it. I'm not saying he's by far the perfect referee, but I just need to move away from the hysteria about him being, biased against the Clan. It's just nonsense. I think it's just nonsense. If he's missing calls, he's missing calls for both teams.
Is it not worse that he's incompetent rather than biased against Clan, though? Is that no?
Well, do you think he's incompetent? I thought he called a decent game, mate.
By Pavel's standards, I thought he had a good game.
It's not easy. We're talking again about the 3-4-man system. It's not easy. If you're the only ref there, you're going to miss things. You can't have your head on a 360-degree swivel. It's just not possible.
The one I took issue with was the one where Mbach got hit up high to the point where his helmet came off.
I did see that one as well.
It was looking. It was right in the corner. You probably wouldn't have seen it. It was in the corner that you probably wouldn't get a good view of. And his helmet came off, and he just kept looking at it. And I was waiting for him to call illegal use of equipment.
Aye.
Because I was looking at it, and the rule is that you need to be interfering with play, and he wasn't. But it's Pavel, so you never know what's going to get called. The thing I took issue with the most last night was, we've harped on about this before, but see the DJ. See when...
Back to the DJ again.
Not me has mentioned it this time.
See when you play Mystify Me for a penalty where Mbach took a baseball bat swing right at the guy's hand. That's not mystifying, that's pretty stonewall,
Yeah.
And I can't remember who it was, but I tweeted about that. It's like, look, someone tell the DJ, rap that. And someone replied with, this is why fans are going to misinterpret the rules, because they're just going with what the DJ is. And I kind of agree with that, but come on, just use your head. Don't play it because the old DJ used to play it in certain situations.
Yeah,
Take a think about it and figure out why.
The fact is, the old DJ had intuition in the game. Unfortunately, we don't have that luxury nowadays. It's that's happened, so this is a tune that goes out. So, yeah, it's a shame. But anyway, Pavel did okay. So
yeah, and as I said, he got the big call right. The 5-minute call on Bjorklund, on Bjorklund's hit from Lidhammer was absolutely correct. And to me, that was the most obvious, or what could have been a contentious call all night. When his hand went straight up, and it was an absolute correct call. And it was that power play that led to us eventually getting the victory. So you can't at the end of the day, you might think he missed calls, Jane. That's fair enough. I'm just counter-arguing that and saying, to me, there was too many Clan supporters on Twitter blaming Pavel for, us not winning by more, So, I don't